Listen to A Scandal in Bohemia by Arthur Conan Doyle. Level B1. Oxford Reading University.
You will find Part 1 in the description and on our channel. Part 2.
When I raise my hand, you will shoot the signal rocket into the window and shout, "Fire!" After that, walk to the corner of the street and wait for me. I nodded in agreement. My friend disappeared into his room and soon returned dressed as a priest. When Holmes dressed up, he didn't just change his costume, he changed his whole personality to fit the role perfectly. Now he was a priest in his manners and his speech. We left Baker Street at 6:15. You see, women naturally tend to keep their secrets to themselves, he told me while we were walking. That's why it's unlikely that she has given the picture to her lawyer or her agent. It's probably inside the house, and I'll make her show me the place where she keeps it. But it's impossible, I protested. Not at all. You'll see. 3. We came up to the house at 5 minutes till 7. The street was almost empty. Only 2 poor men were standing by the corner. At 7, Irene's carriage drove up to the house. When it stopped, a poor man ran forward to ask for a coin, but he was held back by the other poor man. They started fighting. When Irene got out of the carriage, she found herself at the center of the fight. Holmes immediately ran to protect her. As soon as he reached them, he was struck down and fell. 2 guards appeared from around the corner, so the men got frightened and ran away. "What a brave man," said one of the guards. Then he spoke to Irene, who had run up the stairs and watched the fight in safety. "Madam, may we bring him in? He's injured." "Sure," replied Irene. "This way, please." In 5 minutes, I saw Holmes signal and shot the rocket into the window. There was a lot of smoke. I saw the servants run around, shouting. I hurried toward the corner of the street. In 10 minutes, Holmes joined me. "Do you have the photograph?" I asked. "No, but I know where it is," replied Holmes. I required an explanation. "Well, maybe you realized that I had hired everyone in the street to play their roles," Holmes said with a smile. "When they carried me in, I pointed to the window, requesting to open it, and then it was your time to shine. My idea was this. In case of fire, Irene Adler would probably try to save her most valuable possession, the picture. When smoke appeared, she ran towards one of the cupboards and opened it. I managed to see the picture inside and said that it was a false alarm. She immediately ran out of the room." Holmes was now planning to write to the king and ask him to join us at Irene's house at 8 in the morning. We would ask the servants to let us in and pretend to wait for the lady to wake up. Meanwhile, we would take the picture and leave. When we reached Baker Street, Holmes stopped to search for his key. At that very moment, a youth passed by and said, "Good night, Mr. Holmes." Then he disappeared into the night. "His voice sounded familiar," said Holmes. "I wonder who that was." 4. I spent the night on Baker Street because it was more convenient. In the morning, the king knocked on the door. He was incredibly excited. "Do you have it?" he asked. "Not yet, but I have hopes," replied Holmes. We drove to Irene's house in the king's carriage. On the way, Holmes told the king that Irene had gotten married. If she really loved her husband, then it was great news. She would have no reason to bother the king anymore, and his reputation would no longer be in danger. When we arrived, however, a disappointing piece of news was waiting for us. The servant announced that Irene Adler had left England forever at 5 in the morning. Holmes was very surprised. "What about the photograph?" asked the king. "Do we have no chance?" "Let's see," said Sherlock, pushing past the servant into the living room. He headed towards one of the cupboards, opened it, and took out a photograph and a letter. The picture showed Irene Adler herself, and the letter was signed to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He opened the letter, and we all read it. "My dear Sherlock Holmes, I found your plan fascinating. You really caught me off guard at first, but I had been warned that the king had employed you. I could see behind your costume. You know I am an actress myself, and I know a lot about dressing up, so I dressed up too, followed you to your house, and wished you good night. That was a bit careless, perhaps, but I enjoyed that little joke. My husband and I decided to escape as quickly as possible. If you are worried about the photograph, then your client can be sure that I will not show it to anyone. I am married to and loved by a much better man than he, but I will keep it just in case, as a weapon that I may need in the future. I am leaving another picture of me in case he wants to have one. Yours, Irene Norton." "I am sorry that we couldn't finish this business successfully," said Holmes. "Don't be sorry. This is the most successful ending possible," replied the king. "She is the most honest and reliable woman, and she will keep her word. I am so grateful to you. May I offer you my diamond ring as a gift?" "I would much rather have Irene's photograph if you don't mind," replied Holmes. The king was surprised, but he handed Holmes the picture. Holmes wished him a good day, and we left. And that was the end of the story of a woman who proved to be cleverer than Sherlock Holmes. Before that, he had frequently made fun of women's intelligence, but since then, he changed his mind. And whenever he referred to Irene Adler, he always called her the woman.
Support our free audiobooks. Hit the like button to help other English learners to see our videos. And now, listen to another English book.